Today I'm going to be sowing some seeds, which I had hoped to do at the end of February, but February seems to have come and gone without me realising. So I'm going to do it at the beginning of March instead, and it doesn't really make any difference. It just means that they'll ripen later in the season, but it won't be that much later, so it should be all fine. So the seeds I'm going to sow today are tomato. This variety is called Heinz. Swiss chard. I've got 3 varieties of carrots. I have actually got round to sowing I will be getting round to sowing my carrots now, which I've been meaning to do since midway through January, but never mind, there we go. So I've got Early Nance, Norfolk and Amsterdam forcing. So we'll see how they go. I've got a cucumber, which is Burplus Tasty Green, which should be quite a small, short cucumber, and it should be quite a compact plant. So I'm looking forward to trying them. A melon, Emu, which I grew last year, and they grew, but I didn't get the chance to try them because they were too far back and I couldn't get through the other foliage to get to them. So I won't be doing that again this year. And then I've got my Rosilla tomatoes, which I absolutely love for growing in the greenhouse. And I'm going to try the rest of these tumbling toms, which I did sow in a previous vlog and nothing happened with them. So I thought, well, I might as well just sow the rest of the packet just to see if anything happens. So let's get on and sow them. I'm very well organised tonight. This doesn't usually happen, but I have already done my labels, and I've got seed sowing compost in all of these. And again, this is just seed sowing compost in there too. So I shall get on with doing the tomatoes first. This is all the tomato seeds that were in the packet. So like I said, I'm going to grow them all or sow them all because I'm not completely sure they are going to germinate anyway. So I'm just going to sow a couple just around the pot, trying to sow them with a little bit of space in between. Cover them over and there you have it. Here's the Rosilla seeds. They look exactly the same as the tumbling toms, but I really do want these ones to germinate. So wish me luck with these. And I'm going to be soaking this compost in water once I've finished, because this compost is very dry as it's been in my conservatory for a while. Right. And this last variety of seeds, tomato seeds, is Heinz, which is, as it says, from the very well-known Heinz factory people who make that ketchup. So I've only sowed 4 of them. These are a bush variety, and they're very handy because they should just grow in a grow bag. So if all else fails and I run out of room for them, I can just buy a grow bag and pop them in the grow bag. Next up is my melon seeds. So I'm just going to make a small hole, roughly double the size of the seed, and then pop your seed in on end so that it sits sort of upright. If you put it there flat, it's more likely to rot. so I'm told. So I'll get on and do the rest of these, and I'll bring you back for the next seed. The next seeds I'm going to sow are cucumber, the burpless tasty green, and I'm going to put one per pot. And I will be growing more of these as the season goes on. I want to try and successionally grow this year, which I'm not very good at, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm doing these early so that, so hopefully we should get some cucumbers by about May time. And then I'll sow some more at the beginning of April, and maybe 2 more at the beginning of May, and maybe we'll have enough of these cucumbers to last us through. That's the plan anyway. And finally, I'm sowing these Swiss chard, which I've got about 6 seeds here, which again I'll try and separate around. But the thing with Swiss chard is you might get 3 plants from 1 seed. So you end up then with, either choosing whether to separate them or whether to grow 3 small plants in the same place. So that's completely your decision. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'll see which ones come up anyway and go from there. So that's all the seeds I want to sow in the small pots. I'll go and get the big pots for the carrots now. I did want to sow in these some microgreens, but I haven't got around to drilling the holes in them yet, so I won't be doing that. However, I just wanted to mention these are mushroom trays that you get in the supermarkets, and they're very handy for microgreens because you don't need much compost for microgreens, and it's a reasonable size tray for sowing them. So I just thought I'd mention that in case any of you had them lying around. Anyway, let's go and do those carrots. So I'm going to start with the Amsterdam forcing carrots, and I'm just going to make a hole every sort of 5 centimetres long, and then I'm going to sow 3 or 4 seeds per station, and then I'll give it all a good old water. This soil is quite moist underneath. I've put some seed sown compost as a very top layer, but underneath it consists of sand and multi-purpose compost. So it's some old carrot compost that I used last year, and then some fresh compost that I've just put in. So I think 3 per station should be enough, and then I'll just thin them out when they come up. And with all these carrots, I'll put them in my neighbour's greenhouse with some see-through plastic on top, and hopefully that will create a microclimate and the seedlings will germinate quicker. So they should germinate okay in this seed sowing compost, and then when their roots go looking, they'll find the multi-purpose underneath. And carrots don't want a very fertile compost. It makes them fork. So I'll just put a covering over the top, and that should be good to go now. I'll do the other one, and then I'll move on to the next lot. I'm now gonna sow the Norfolk F1 carrots, which now I'm looking in the seed packet. There's not actually that many left. That's all that's left. So we'll see how many we get in this tub. This is last year's seed as well, so I don't know how well it will germinate. I'm putting 3 per station, and then when I've done this tub, I'll see how many is left, and I'll see if there's enough to do the tub that's next to it, because there might not be. And as it's old seed, I might just put the excess seed in these holes to make sure that each station germinates. They were nice carrots as well, these Norfolk ones. They were long and thin. They were nice. But if nothing comes up, then the compost is all prepped, and all I have to do is sow some of the other variety in here. Okay, so I've got about that much left, so I'm going to chance it and do the other one as well. Just about got to the end. Cover them over. And we'll move on to the next one. And finally, I've got the early Nants. Just 1 tub of this so far. But if I manage, I'll sow a few more tubs in a couple of weeks. They did well for me, these tubs. And the funny thing is, I've got quite a lot of pots that I've bought. But there's something about using some free tubs that just make it feel all the more better. There's nothing wrong with ones you've bought, obviously. It's just, you feel like, oh, I'm using something for free. And it also means that I might have enough tubs for tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that. If I've got excess plants, just cover them over, give them a water, and then that's these done. I'll put them in the conservatory overnight, and I'll move them into my neighbour's greenhouse tomorrow, or whenever I get a chance. And you can keep your eyes peeled the next time I do a plot tour, see if you can spot them. I thought I'd finish up the vlog by showing you where the things are at the moment. So my carrots have been watered, and they're just in my conservatory waiting to go into the greenhouse, and then the rest of the stuff has gone into the grow unit. I just show you my propagator on top with the salad stuff in it. This is a heated propagator, and if I just open up down here, you can see the tomatoes here and the cucumbers and melons, and I've just got some lettuce over there that needs potting on, but everything is doing well in here at the moment. In these pots here, I forgot to tell you the other day, I planted some artichokes, some Jerusalem artichokes. They had all withered up a bit, so I thought I'd better get these in the soil and or in the compost. I'm forever saying soil and I mean compost. So I've just planted them here for now to see if anything shoots, and then if anything does shoot, I'll figure out where I'm going to grow them on to. And I've got another little experiment on the go here. I have a sweet potato that sort of started to do this by itself in my veg basket, but it has got some roots coming out, and the idea is that when these top bits have green leaf on them, you pick them off and plant them up, and those are the sweet potato slips. So I thought I would give that a go. It doesn't take up much space. I just refresh the water every now and again, and the roots are growing well in there. But I've got a second one here that there's no roots showing on here really, so even though it's got those at the top, I'm not quite sure whether this one will come to anything, because it should have had roots really to feed the tuber. So anyway, that's another experiment that's underway. Well, that's it for this vlog. That's it from this vlog. I've probably bored you enough now by showing you yet more seed sowing. I don't normally do vlogs on this much seed sowing, but I kind of wanted to keep a record for myself so I can look back and see how things have done in the grow unit this year. So that will be it from me for today. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing if you have done so, and fingers crossed that I haven't planted my cucumbers and tomatoes too early, and that I won't be doing the big juggling of pots, but I expect that will be in my future. But never mind, it's all there. It's what I do every year, so it's part of my routine. Anyway, thank you very much, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. All I can say about my seed sowing is lovely job.